I got a fun one behind me right now. This is the all-new, first ever fully electric GMC Sierra. It's the GMC Sierra EV Denali First Edition, and that is what we're gonna look at today. So normally you can't hear an electric vehicle running that much, and this is not the vehicle running. But if you can hear that, it's only because it's over 100 degrees outside. That's actually why I'm underneath this, because I melt to the ground. It just happens. So we are here today though to look at this beast of a truck, the 2024 Sierra EV First Edition. I mean, first of all, from the appearance, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I think it looks slightly more truckish than its brother in the Silverado EV, and it's definitely a lot different than what we're seeing with the Hummer EV. In fact, it has longer battery range, not quite as powerful though, so there's a bit of a trade-off when it comes to that. This one has 2 motors. You can get up to 3 motors with the Hummer EV and Hummer EV SUV. Right now, we're looking at about 785 pound-feet of torque and 755 horsepower, but the big claim to fame on this right now is at least 440 miles of range when you're not towing or in normal conditions. There's where you charge it up right there. Learning some things today on the truck as well, spent some time in it, and they're talking in terms of towing. Of course, we're looking at 10,000 pounds of towing, which my half ton is only rated for 11,000, and that's much more than it was even just a few years ago. So 10,000 pounds towing is really, really impressive. And ratage wise with towing, even towing something of substantial weight close to the top of its weight limit, you're still getting an approximate 250 miles on the 220 miles roughly. Again, this is not anything scientific, just what we were learning of miles of range when you're pulling like over 9,000 pounds. So you have a gas motor, and it definitely lacks a bit when you have you're towing something, and this is not all that much different, right? Let's be honest. The styling, of course, is great. You have these huge lights here, the DRL lights, lights down below there, and your fog lights down below there as well. Really cool lighting sequence that happens when you come up to the vehicle and your keys in your pocket. Even the GMC there lights up, which is cool. Only one color available for the 2024 model year, which is what we're looking at here, like this thunderstorm gray. And then of course, with some black accents like the black mirror caps, you're gonna have black around the window trim, so it's not any chrome or anything like that. And then the wheels, these spectacular 24-inch standard wheels, almost about a 35-inch size. You're going to notice that they are a bit narrower. They're narrower than the Hummer if we're going to compare it to. But again, this is not the same vehicle. In fact, it's a little bit longer. But we still have some amazing features in this one, like 4-wheel steer, which we're seeing in the Hummer. And I can tell you firsthand after using it in the Hummer, and actually today getting in this vehicle using the 4-wheel steer, very, very impressive. It basically allows this long vehicle to turn in the turning radius along the sides of something like this little Buick that we're sitting beside here right now. You can wing around and it's no issue. And of course you've got the crab walk, which will allow you to pivot through things as well. Some cool things, of course, we still have the multi-pro tailgate in this, which obviously transforms. I'm going to show you a few other things too, in terms of the fact that much like the old Avalanches of days gone by, we have the ability to get into the rear seat. Now, some other cool things, you're going to see some charging areas here. You can actually charge other vehicles and other means of power right from this vehicle. So not only does it have the power to do what it needs to do, it can share power with other things that require electric power. Tons of safety features, of course, standard in this. It's got a massive glass roof on this. What I do find interesting, it does not have a shade that's a power shade on the inside. Of course, it is tinted, so it's not as though it's dark or light or anything, but you can still see out it. But I do think somebody like myself, who is adverse to the sun quite a bit, that's why I'm filming in the shade as a reminder, I think I would like the ability to have a shade. Now I think there's an accessory, I'm going to say aftermarket, but I think there's an accessory that allows you to cover it up, but it's not a power shade like we see in some of the vehicles. The interior of this though is nothing short of spectacular. We are talking to Denali, so it makes complete sense. But this quilted pattern in the stitching I love, and we have a little bit lighter piping on the outside. It's just something that looks great. Now again, in a few moments I'm going to show you, I got to set up my camera differently, but I'm going to show you how this can all come down, and we can utilize the ability to get right into the back of the truck, which gives you length from all the way here all the way back to the truck, you know, something like a kayak or whatever it may be. Heated rear seats in the Edition 1 for your passengers, as well as we have an actual plug-in down here, not to mention a couple of USB-C chargers as well. I'm going to head out front next and talk about the cockpit. All right, so now that I have knocked my because I am not good in this heat, as I said. But before I go too far, what I do want to thank is I want to thank you know, GMC, the Texas region and this region, GMC, for allowing me the ability to have this vehicle to go over some things and really get educated on it, even more so today than I already was, learning some new things. I got to try some different things on the test track today at Texas Motor Speedway. You know, the one of the modes here I'm going to show you in a moment, trailering with it, the crab walk, the, you know, four-wheel steer, which again I've tried in the Hummer, but it's nice to try it in this unit, and it was nothing short of impressive. So fully digital display, of course, out here in front of the driver, which is nice to see. I love the steering wheel setup, and if you can see, of course, we have Super Cruise. I mean, the Edition 1 essentially, or first edition, comes with essentially everything that you could want or need. It is loaded, to say the least. You have your rear vision camera mirror up here, which is great. 16.8 inch diagonal screen. The thing, of course, it does not have would be your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it does have something like this, which is, watch this. Hey Google, what's the temperature outside in Fort Worth, Texas right now?
Currently in Fort Worth, it's 99 degrees. Due to the current humidity, it feels like it's 107. Yeah, I can confirm that because that's where I am right now, and that's exactly how it feels. But listen, here's the thing. Perfectly a great screen. That Google Assistant is something that you can utilize along with the navigation. I can tell it to do certain things navigation wise. I can tell it to turn the air conditioning on and off. It's really cool, and I didn't press any buttons for that, by the way. So much like when you're using your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you just have to say, hey, you know, what the word I just said, which is that word, and it'll come up there. We have tons of different things, like, you know, different camera views and stuff in here. The cool part about the screen is you still have, though, some analog buttons down here, which is nice to see. What they've done with the shifter, much like we're seeing in like a whole plethora of new vehicles from GM, you know, the Tahoes, the Yukons, the Terrains, the Equinoxes, the Blazers, the Blazer EV, pardon me, the Equinox EV, we're all using this new EPS system, which is up here, which of course helps free, let me see if I can show you down here, it frees up space down here. Another cool thing I like about this is it does have the wireless charging, but it doesn't look that much like a wireless charging. It's kind of built right in to this wood grain, which we normally, you know, you normally see the wireless charging. It's like it stands out as a wireless charger, right? But like tons of storage down here. You keep taking stuff out, and it just gets deeper and deeper. And there's some more plugins down there for power, obviously as well. So I'm loving the space in this in terms of storage as well, because that's only that, and then you still have. I can lift it up here, your big armrest here as well. All that being said, also, this is the key fob. It looks actually much like, and no different really than the current Sierras and Silverados for that matter. So nothing really fancy about that, but that's what the key fob looks like there. A couple other things, like I say, that I want to do. You know, Super Cruise we've talked about, trailering we've talked about, so there's your tow haul mode. It has, you know, adaptive cruise control, clearly, hence why it'll work with the Super Cruise. There's a few more things I definitely want to talk about. One is I want to show you the frunk on the outside, so I've got the key for that, so let's step out there and do that, and then after that I'm going to show you how we can get through to the back. So let's just step out here really quickly, and I believe on this key fob, there it is, if I press twice, we should see this bad boy open. There we go. Check it out. Just extra bit of storage, right? Storage that you wouldn't have in your normal truck. So let's say you're hauling a bunch of stuff, you got some wood in the back and chips, you don't want it affecting your luggage or whatever. Maybe you're going out to camp, you want your clothes up front. Cool part is we have options on both sides of this truck for storage. So again, not only is it, and not only is that, but it's also bigger in the inside of this truck as well. I mean, it really gives you a lot of space seating wise as well. But like I said, let's go in the inside and inside/outside and talk about how we can get to the back
from the back. All right, so as promised, we're in the back seat of this right now, and I wanted to show you one of the coolest features about this truck. As I mentioned, it does have the multi-pro mid-gate, or the multi-gate, maybe we'll call it. The fact of the matter is, it's giving you the ability to reach from the back of your vehicle into the back of the bed of the truck. So let's say we have long lumber, we have a kayak, whatever it might be, we are getting more length of storage than pretty much any other vehicle out there that would have that normal size of box. And it's a really easy thing to do. There's just a little tether here. We've already kind of put that out of the way just so you can see what we're doing. All you do is you lift that component up. There's a tether on this side. I just lift up. Actually, what you're gonna do first is put these headrests down. There's a little button on the side, really easy to do. Lift up on here. Now we're already here. The cool part is, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's a really hard kind of plastic, so it's gonna be durable when you are putting something down for the back of it. And then on top of that, the next thing you do, there's a power button here, which I did right, yeah. Drops this down, and now we have access straight to the back. Now the cool part about all this, you can go even further and take the window out and then put that down. It actually slots down inside of here, so that it's out of the way, it's safe, it's tucked underneath here, and then you have full access to the back. The point of the matter is, there's no other truck out there right now in the market that has something like this other than GM branded vehicles, and it's just an amazing feature of the GMC Sierra EV.